Now, Lifeline in Pietermaritzburg says it expects President Cyril Ramaphosa to outline tangible plans to deal with the scourge of gender-based violence when he delivers the SONA today. SABC News reporter Simphiwe Makhanya is with Lifeline Director Sinikiwe Biyela in Pietermaritzburg. Simphiwe, what are they saying?
Well, thank you very much, Desiree, and good morning to the viewers as well of the agenda at home. Certainly a big day for President Cyril Ramaphosa this evening, as we are expecting him to deliver that crucial SONA. And of course, among the issues that many people in this area of Pietermaritzburg in particular will be looking forward to is the issue of crime. You know, the Pietermaritzburg police station in Pietermaritzburg has been reporting quite a number of serious crimes that happen within the area of Pietermaritzburg. But of course, as you rightfully said there in your introduction, Desiree, that Lifeline, which is an NGO based here at Pietermaritzburg, is also anticipating to hear what the president of the country will say about the escalating cases of gender-based violence which have been reported in this district alone. About more than 3,000 in fact cases were reported in the past 6 months, signaling of course a very bleak situation when it comes to the issue of fighting the scourge of gender-based violence. But with me, as you said, Desiree, I've got Sinikiwe Biyela, who will speak on behalf of Lifeline. Thank you very much for joining us, Sinikiwe. A staggering figure, more than 3,000 cases reported to your office here in Pietermaritzburg in a space of about 6 months. What has gone wrong?
Thank you so much, Simphiwe. This is a very big concern for us, and clearly the city of choice, which is Pietermaritzburg, it's becoming the city of crime, which is very, very sad and disturbing for the community members. Lifeline Pietermaritzburg had supported over 3,000 survivors of gender-based violence in the past 6 months, and about 1,470 of those numbers, they came from Pietermaritzburg community, and 70% of them are children under the age of 18, which is very, very concerning. And we feel as an organization what is really going on, what is the problem, is the fact that communities in this city have actually endorsed crime. They have actually normalized it. In the past, when people were creating crime, you'll find that neighbors, community members, and family members themselves will report it. Now those days are gone. People are not reporting it. We're seeing grandmothers protecting their own sons after they've committed rape. We're seeing mothers protecting their own husbands after they've raped their own daughters. So family members partly are normalizing this very disturbing situation that is happening. But one of the biggest challenges, Simphiwe, is the lack of proper and visible action by our law enforcement agencies. We are looking at the courts in South Africa. We're looking at the SABC services. They're not visible anymore. They're not doing the conviction rate when it comes to gender-based violence cases. It's disturbingly low. And because it's low, it gives an idea to the perpetrators that if you perpetrate these kind of crimes, if you rape a child or you rape a woman or you beat your partner up, you will get away with it, because there is nothing that is currently showing by actions that the state is condoning this kind of behavior. So we are very disturbed that there are no proper actions that are taken, but also linked to the proper actions taken by the law enforcement agencies. There is no accountability, Simphiwe, which is very disturbing as well. If courts are there to do the work and protect the survivors of gender-based violence, and SABC, their main job is to protect them, and there is nobody held accountable when the conviction rate is very low, how come nobody is held accountable in the justice system? How come is nobody held accountable in the SABC system? So clearly our justice system in South Africa is failing the survivors of gender-based violence, and that is why we have these issues that we're currently seeing. And of course, issues of drugs and alcohol and illegal firearms is also adding into the issues that we're currently having. But if the law was working effectively and efficiently in addressing and arresting the perpetrators, the message will go around quickly that if you commit these crimes, you will end up in jail and you will be arrested.
Of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa, declared the scourge of gender-based violence as another pandemic which is facing the country. But from what you are saying, I'm picking up the fact that there's no tangible action on the ground when it comes to addressing this scourge. What specific measures do you think need to be taken to address this problem?
Our president had indicated that gender-based violence is a second pandemic following COVID-19. Unfortunately, up to this point, there is no actions that speaks to that. If you think of COVID-19, when it was declared as a pandemic, a lot of resources were actually put into COVID-19, but not the same has happened on the gender-based violence. There is one big challenge that the courts are faced with, that is delaying the cases of gender-based violence, but not only gender-based violence, Simphiwe, murder cases, robbery cases, as well as rape cases are being delayed in this country because of the issue of DNA. DNA is pending. We have cases that are pending for 3 to 4 years and have been withdrawn from courts based on the issue that the DNA results are not back as yet. That is actually very disturbing for the clients. It's actually heartbreaking because we're telling them, don't wash, you must report the incidents within 72 hours. They've been religiously doing that, but the cases are withdrawn in court every day because the DNA is missing. So if the president is serious about ending the scourge of crime in Pietermaritzburg, we are urging the president to really take the issue of DNA seriously. We are saying, as Lifeline Pietermaritzburg, we propose that each province in South Africa has its own DNA lab, even if it's a small lab, but the lab must be there to make sure that we fast track the DNA analysis and the results comes out so that our victims will get the justice that they deserve, but perpetrators will also go to jail. If the state doesn't have funds to create these labs, then why not partner with private laboratories for the same work so that at least the cases are prioritized? Until then, we will know that the government is not being serious about the ending the scourge of gender-based violence if they're failing to actually implement and make sure that the DNA is working as effectively as possible. Words without actions means nothing to the South Africans that are already fed up with the crime.
Are you hopeful, though, Sinikiwe, with the president delivering his SONA this evening? Are you hopeful that he will be able to touch base in terms of the issues that you have raised? We have SONAs every year, and the issues that you are talking about are issues that have been happening since time immemorial. Do you hope, or are you hopeful that the president this time around will put in place tangible measures?
We understand that the president have a number of issues that he needs to deal with as the president of the country, and gender-based violence is one of the biggest issues that we as a country we are currently facing. And if the president is worried about the future of the younger generation, then I'm hopeful that the president will do something about it this evening. But if the president does nothing about GBV this evening, I will actually be very disappointed, because it will mean we're not considering the future of the South Africans, because these young people that are being raped every day, they're going to be senior citizens next in the near future. They're going to be in charge of this country, and they're emotionally broken because their families have broken them. But also, Simphiwe, what I wanted to say to you is, if the president is serious about GBV and ending it, we want to see the system where the database where all gender-based violence cases are going to be collected on a daily basis, so that actually when you open your television, you could easily see where we're sitting as a country. Because if we have a database or a system that will record all gender-based violence cases on a daily basis, similar to what we're doing with COVID-19, then the government will know, first of all, how big is the problem, how far is the scourge has gone, what are the areas that are actually hotspots for the gender-based violence, so that they can prioritize those areas. But then resources will be allocated accordingly. Right now, it's difficult for them to monitor because there is nothing that they're using as a proper system to monitor this kind of issues.
Thank you very much for your time, Sinikiwe.
Thank you so much to the viewers.
Okay, that's Sinikiwe Biyela, who speaks on behalf of Lifeline here in Pietermaritzburg, and unpacking, of course, her expectations as well as the challenges facing the country with regards to the scourge of gender-based violence. Respect to you in Johannesburg for now.